Hello, and good morning. It is really nice and sunny today. It's only 10 o'clock in the morning, but it rained all afternoon yesterday. So me and Brian just got up and got ready, made the bed in the tent, set up. I think our plan for today is to just hang out here in the tent.
Hello and welcome to True Crime Rocket Science, the most authentic voice in true crime. Well, whether or not that Nalgene water bottle is fake or planted or genuine, it certainly does remind us once again of some of the details in the Gabby Petito story. And so it's through this water bottle that we can go back to Gabby in a way, and we actually see her carrying the water bottle, and we also see it inside the van. And that's certainly something that I haven't even noticed until now, this water bottle. And when you actually look at the brand new water bottle, it is kind of quite an artistic, quite a beautiful thing for a water bottle. I don't know what you guys think. And so as a kind of way to introduce this episode, I also wanted to play Gabby's voice. Because if there's one way to, we see her in videos and photos, but if there's one way to really bring someone alive, it is to listen to their voice. Everyone has got a unique inflection, a unique way of speaking, and you really get a sense, I think, of Gabby through her voice. She sounds calm, and something that I edited out of that clip with there's sort of a rainstorm. You sort of hear her laughing and smiling. And so that really does bring her back to life in a way that is really quite poignant, given what has happened here. Before we get started with this particular artifact, which may be evidence, it may not be, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do like, share, leave a comment, and let's get started. So yes, there have been a few false alarms today, but this may be something the cops may have wanted to take a second look at. And it is something from the investigative reporter Jonathan Lee Riches. I'll put a link to his Instagram in the description. There's also a clip that he provides where he films the cops looking at the bottle and then sort of moving off. Now, unless it was planted there, this does look like a genuine article. At least one credible investigative journalist has picked up on this clue found today near Brian's remains. I think he's from Fox News in New York. I think his name is Michael Ruiz. And they found this apparently in the Mayakachi Park clearing. Now, one thing to note with this bottle is it's not brand new. Another thing to note is that it appears to have had a certain amount of wear in the weather. And so if it had been left out in the sun and to some extent spoiled, in stagnant water, isn't that perhaps what it would look like? And that makes me think it might actually be genuine. The Nalgene Sustained Seek Nature water bottle with a sort of earthy patterning and conscientious messaging that appealed to Gabby and Brian certainly is a visual match to the one we see glimpses of on social media, both inside the van and outside. It does raise the question, did Brian run out of fresh potable water? And if so, was dehydration a factor? So what do you guys think? Do you think this is a genuine or fake piece of evidence? Just a reminder, I'm doing a live stream in around about 2 hours' time at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a subscribers only chat. We're going to look at some of your questions, also some of the latest news that has come out. There's also been reports of a potential gunshot heard on October 9th. And we're going to talk about some things in that area. Also, the influence of social media. Social media, in what ways has it helped this investigation, and in what ways has it hindered it? And I think this bottle that is either the real thing or not is like we don't know. You see something and then you sort of wonder, can we rely on this? Is this something genuine? Can we trust the people that have found it? And that is kind of almost the shadow side to social media. There are a lot of honest people who care about this case, but there are also a lot of opportunists, unfortunately. I also want to talk in the live stream about this idea that is the Gabby Petito case a one-off aberration? It's been a very high-profile case. It's been very high-profile in the mainstream media, on numerous mainstream channels, but it's also been on a lot of true crime channels, including this one. And so, is this going to be a one-off? Is it going to be the sort of Mount Everest of true crime cases, and we're never going to see anything like it? Or is it the beginning of kind of a new trend? And so we're going to be talking about that to some extent, and then also about the possible type of animals that may have been on the scene. And there's actually a fellow who lived about around about a mile from the reserve, who knows the area very well, who provided his input. And he basically said, he named basically two main types of animals that he thought would most likely have scavenged. And we're going to talk about that. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention is there is apparently not just skeletal remains. The way I understand it, there's an area in the remains that was badly decomposed, which suggests that it wasn't just bones, that there was an area where there was some tissue remaining. And so what are the implications of that? And then the other thing that I think is quite important to do at this point, and I really welcome your input, so it'll be good to get you guys also to participate, to engage in this, is we want to look at, while the investigation was going on, what were some of the ideas and theories, and obviously, where were we wrong? So we want to think critically about our thought process and be honest about some things that were more outlandish than others, and then also to some extent where we were on the right track, where we were thinking with our information based on knowledge of the person and knowledge of the circumstances of the case. So look out for that. It's a live stream starting in about 2 hours at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you guys then.